Hi, I'm Bill Menberg. I'm the founder and president of Replay for Kids. What Replay for Kids does is we adapt toys so that kids with disabilities can use them. So a toy like Elmo here, we have to squeeze his belly to make him work. A child with disability might not be able to do that, might not have the coordination, or might be paralyzed. What we do is we show people how to attach a switch in parallel with the other one, so they can plug in an external switch, and if the kids just move their head, they can then make the toy work. And whatever the child is able to do, there's a switch out there that will allow them to plug in and operate that toy. I founded Replay, not planning to start a nonprofit, but I just answered an ad in the local paper from the Cuyahoga County Board of Developmental Disabilities that was looking for someone to repair a box of toys and assistive devices that they had. And it sounded like a fun thing for me to do, so I went and got the toys, fixed some, brought back the box. They gave me another one. And after doing that a few times, some of my friends at work wanted to do that too, so we started doing that after work. And after a couple of years doing that, we realized that other agencies probably had closets filled with broken toys and devices that we could make these easy repairs and have them have more toys and devices for the kids they work with. And now Replay has grown from serving that one agency to now serving over 100 agencies across many counties in Northeast Ohio, and has even started helping in some agencies around the country.
How does having these adapted toys available affect the children that you work with?
Oh, they love it because they can turn on a toy, and a lot of them have motor disabilities as well. So just activating a toy and being able to sort of initiate any type of communication or play is huge to them.
Having access to switches, I've had kids who can use their hands, kids who use their head. It just really opens up possibilities for them, and they get to do something and then watch something happen and know that they made it happen, as opposed to someone else controlling it. It's just a lot more empowering, I think, for the kids.
It just gives them an avenue to play with some things that they wouldn't normally be able to do anything
At one
on
time.
their own. As soon as my one little girl, the older one, as soon as she activates something, she gets really excited. In fact, half the time she can't keep her hand on the switch because she's so excited it flies away. So it's just they can activate things on their own. They can do some independent things. They can make some choices. It's just a good way to get them involved in their own education rather than us doing it for them.
These are toys that, it's the learning blocks of all the rest of it. When I work with little ones, whether we're working towards gross motor or anything like that, if you don't grasp cause and effect relationship, like they're not motivated, to kind of start like, oh, I want to try to go get that. So these toys, for a child that has limited mobility, really provides that learning. It's easy for parents to use. It's something they can easily get repetitive practice with. There's a little girl that, had a rare form of a seizure condition mixed with other things. She was wheelchair bound and basically hand over hand for everything. We try to get her to interact and everything with stuff. We were using a max switch, for her to at least be able to hit it and say hi and more. And when we began using more of the Switch toys, just, lit up, made songs and stuff like that, this kid that really didn't, again, everything was us doing it for her, is when she actually started moving her hand and purposefully hitting it and stuff like that. And when you work for a long time on a certain skill and something like that happens at that moment, it's huge. It's everyone's like, yeah.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the operation that is Replay for Kids. My name is Kendall, and today I will be guiding you through the various safety measures that you should be aware of before you start adapting toys. While self-explanatory, these safety procedures are always crucial to a safe environment in the workspace, whether you are at a workshop with us, our volunteers, or your teachers. So we're going to be going over some of the equipment you'll be utilizing, as well as how to utilize that equipment safely. In your tool bag or STEM kit, there are a few notable tools that will always be used to adapt toys. There are more tucked away in your kit that may be used depending on the toy, but for now, let's go over the main equipment you'll be using and some tips on how to use it. Anytime you go to solder, please do so over your work mat. If you are not at a workshop bench or a more utility-focused area, it will also function as a placemat to work over while you take apart your toy and protect the surface you are working on. We'll get to soldering safety in just a moment, but for the time being, please ensure that nearby you have your solder, damp sponge, and iron stand if the iron is not battery operated. The sponge you use should only be damp, not soaking wet. The misconception is that the damp sponge will just naturally grab the solder. The pores of the sponge are actually catching the excess solder when you go to wipe the iron clean after use. Your helping hand is there to hold anything we intend to solder together and can be positioned in various ways, as you can see. Avoid holding items you want to solder together in your free hand and instead use the helping hand. It helps provide both a clear view of your work and a way to keep things stationary as you solder. When it comes to wire strippers, they might need to be unlocked on the side. To do this, squeeze both handles and slide the lock out of the way. When you go to strip wires, you will clamp the wires one at a time into the designated gauge, our wires generally being 18 to 20, and pull straight out away from your body while keeping them clamped closed. If you need to cut wires, the very bottom of your wire strippers have a cutting tool. Please keep this in mind to avoid pinching or hurting yourself. Screwdriver sizes can be very deceiving, so please make sure that you have picked the correct size screwdriver for the screws that you are handling. Anytime you go to unscrew something, always keep your toy placed directly on the table with one hand and hold your screwdriver to apply pressure against the screw. This ensures that the screw will not strip and that the screwdriver will not slip out and hurt yourself or anybody that might be around you. Same rules apply when prying open toys with a flathead. Keep your toy down with your free hand out of the way you intend to pry and carefully place the screwdriver into the intended seam of the toy. Your magnetic screw plate can then be used to hold any screws or any of the extra plastic bits you disassemble from your toy. And as you can see, these aren't going anywhere. Finally, while not mentioned previously, there are a few other sharp objects that you should be aware of are inside the kit. There are scissors and a small sewing kit, so please use these with the same caution that you would any other sharp object. We also have a red file set for when you need to file a notch in your toy or scratch the surface of a circuit board. Again, these are sharp, so please use them carefully. Take your time and always file with your toy on the table, gripping the file by its textured handle, and keep your offhand away from the area you intend to file down. With that out of the way, now we're going to move on to our soldering and our power tool safety guidelines. Soldering is, in extreme layman's terms, like hot glue for metal. A soldering iron is a device specifically designed to get hot enough to melt metals with lower melting points, those usually being tin and lead. So, this should go without saying, but please do be aware that the iron will get very hot. Whenever you go to pick up your soldering iron, pick it up like a pen in your dominant hand. And never grasp any part that is metal. This is not plugged in currently. This is just for show, but do not grab any part that is metal. It will burn you. Be aware that if you have a metal stand for your iron, that this will also get very hot. Heat transfers between metal very well, and it's sometimes easy to forget that when you need to adjust something at your workstation. Turn off your iron and grab the base of your stand if you absolutely need to move it. For battery irons that do not have stands, always turn them off and set them upright when not actively using them. This will also help you save their battery life in the long run. Ideally, when you go to solder, your dominant hand will be holding your iron and your other hand will be feeding solder onto the iron, with your helping hand holding the items you're soldering. We use hot glue guns regularly to secure wires in toys, cover up holes we may make, and also cover solder contacts in toys. It is generally the tool that most of our volunteers have the most experience with, but that doesn't mean that you cannot use it improperly. A hot glue gun stands up to its namesake, so please only use it with intent, and remember to always set glue guns upright on their mats so as to not burn tables, equipment, or melt the glue guns themselves. And for our last major tool, we have the handheld Dremel. This is often used as a replacement to filing a notch in the toy. Before you use the Dremel, mark on your toy where you plan to Dremel in. Always put on a pair of safety glasses, and always Dremel over the scrap wood provided. Similar to using a screwdriver, hold the toy over the wood in your offhand, ensuring that it is out of the way, and use your other hand to press the Dremel into the desired location. Do not choke up on the tool. Brace it in the center normally with your hand. Faster settings provide faster results, but we recommend at least starting at the middle of the speed settings. Remember to keep your extremities away from the tool and to never walk anywhere or do any other task while the Dremel is on. So that just about wraps up our workshop safety overview. Any other questions or comments you have for us, we are more than happy to answer in person as well as in the comments below. And if you're new here, you're more than welcome to check out our channel for more videos on how to adapt toys, as well as our website, replayforkids.org, for more resources and information on how to contact us. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.